So, are you starting to like the Nations League a little more yet? I mean, I honestly don't hate it, man. I think there is merit in this because it's a pretty difficult competition to win with the way it's set up. I mean, the best playing amongst the best, at least for the most part, right? And trust me, most teams are taking it seriously. After yet another edition, the third actually, has seen its group stage come to an end. The final four will be Croatia, Spain, Italy, and the Netherlands, with the host nation likely being the Netherlands as well for the finals in June. Not confirmed yet, will be confirmed in January 2023, but it's expected to be them. And I'm sorry, I'm just going through League A here. I know. I'm sorry, guys. In Group 1, we had Croatia and Denmark sitting in first and second, with France and Austria in third and fourth. If you guys have been watching me for a while, then you'll know that I'm a big Kasper Hjulmand enjoyer. I love the way he has this national team playing, as he has been able to do something that few national team managers are able to do. Make the national team enjoyable to play for. Winning helps there, right? But more so, the absolute team unity that they have. You see it with some national sides, where national team duty is seen less of a chore and more something that the squad members absolutely look forward to. Some quick examples that come to mind are Canada. The players always say how they cannot wait to get back to the national team. Brazil comes to mind as well. Italy during Euro 2020 and the lead up to it. Denmark, and I'm sure there are others that I can't think of right now, but Denmark are definitely amongst them. Hjulmand is able to run the national team like a club team, where not only has he absolutely nailed the man management and the team unity, but he is also tactically very, very astute, as he has shown time and time again throughout his Denmark tenure. They've gone from, hey, they have some good players, they could slip into the World Cup or Euro, to a team that you look to as a side that will likely win whatever match they're playing in, beyond some of the absolute top opposition in the world, you know? That said, they beat France twice. They share a group with France and Qatar, so watch this space, man. And yet, all of this praise for Denmark, and they finished in second in their group behind Croatia. This is a team that refuses to lay down, isn't it? They beat Denmark on both occasions, and with Luka Modric still perhaps the best midfielder in the world at the moment, still, they now have a good younger generation that was a little too early for Euro 2020, but are starting to blossom now. They started their group play bizarrely, losing 3-0 to Austria, but then went on a 5-match unbeaten run that saw them do the double over Denmark, get a win and draw against France, and get revenge against Austria. Croatia is one of those teams that we should all overlook at our own peril. They taught us that lesson in 2018, and it felt like lightning in a bottle, but now that their younger generation of players is at a level where they can effectively mix in with their more mature, established talents, Croatia is spooky, man. Zlatko Dalic is killing it. As for France, I mean, most of you know already that I am not the biggest Deschamps supporter. I think with the talent France has, there's no reason why they shouldn't be in the final of every single major tournament under the right coach, of course. That said, there are some teams that will play off the Nations League as meaningless simply because they did poorly, while their team selections would say otherwise. England. But with France, and I guess with Deschamps, you can see that they really did take the opportunity to rotate the team and try out different systems, a few different shapes, a few new faces, and a whole lot of injuries as well. Again, I'm not a big Deschamps fan, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here. Others in this competition don't deserve that, however. I'm sorry, but Portugal's obsession with a 37-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo has got to stop, and that same affinity to Santos has got to stop as well. As I have said in other videos, Portugal thanks Santos for Euro 2016. Holy shit, that was amazing. But everything since then, the entire team defaults to passing to Ronaldo in the attack. Even when, and this isn't hate guys, please don't get this twisted. These are just the realities of aging, really. They still default to trying to pass to him even when he is slower than he's ever been. There is no guarantee he will be able to control the ball anymore, and he often dwells on it far too long in the finish. I don't know. And he is in terrible form due to his club situation, or maybe it's aging. I don't know, but brass tacks, he is in terrible form. It's not hate, it's just the realities of aging. That's it. It used to be a touch and hammer it immediately. Now it's a touch, wait for it to get into place. Come on. This happens way too much with him now. I'm going to have to do a full video on my thoughts on Ronaldo because he has done incredible things, especially for Portugal. He at one time was in the conversation to be one of the best players of all time, man. Of all time. That's huge. But he isn't that player anymore, just as the other greats weren't what they used to be deep into their 30s as well. And yet, when Ronaldo is not injured, you can guarantee Santos will start him, and you can guarantee that players will default to him subconsciously because the tactics have been for so long, get the ball to Ronaldo, he will save us, instead of backing their own ability. It's not the same Ronaldo as he was, which is understandable because age. And it's not the same Portugal that it was. It's far more talented now and doesn't need to be one-dimensional and defensive. Doesn't need to rely on one player. Ronaldo can still score goals, I think. We don't have evidence of that this season, however. But that doesn't mean that other players who are in better form don't deserve an opportunity to score as well. And yet Ronaldo played both matches 180 minutes. Erik ten Hag didn't give him that amount of time, did he? Why? Take a guess. And Santos' substitutions, man. I mean, Ronaldo and Jota not doing much after 70 minutes, and he just leaves Leão and João Felix on the bench for so long. It's crazy. Anyway, after Euro 2020 and World Cup qualifying, I thought Spain were going to be just outside of my top picks to win the World Cup, those being Brazil and Argentina, but they have looked very average lately. And despite that, they managed to beat this Portugal side in Portugal. Look what Portugal did against Serbia back in the day, and it will be clear to you. Playing at home, playing for a draw, and losing in the 90th minute. It happened against France as well back in the day, and now it's happened against Spain again under Santos. Spain move on, and they deserve it. Italy tops this group despite failing to qualify for the World Cup, while Hungary, Germany, and England follow, and in that order. England. While the Southgate hysteria was pretty fun in an ironic way during 2018, it was also incredibly clear that while he is an affable guy and perhaps his man management is great, he is not at the level that England requires tactically in order to harness this incredibly talented generation. That's what I want to make clear here. I believe in the talent that is in this England side. Sure, some of it is overblown given, they're English and the English tax is high both in transfers and how the English view their players. But England are, in my opinion, unfortunately hamstrung by their manager. There was plenty of talk about how England had an easy path in the two tournaments that Southgate has been in charge of. There's a lot of pushback there, or at least there was a lot of pushback on that notion during said tournaments as a defense for Southgate and the team, but I do wonder if there will be similar defense of Southgate if their World Cup is just as bad as their Nations League performance. Their World Cup run, as soon as they met a legitimate side such as Croatia and then Belgium, they lost. They had the luck of playing all but one of their matches of Euro 2020 at home, and that clearly benefited them greatly on their run, which saw them avoid some of the top teams. I mean, besides that dying German side, dying under Jogi Löw by the end of that tournament. This time around, against genuine sides like Germany, that is a slight improvement on the one they faced at Euro, Italy, and the surprise package Hungary. Well, from 6 matches, they failed to score in 4 of them. They scored 4 goals in total, 3 of which were in one match, and conceded 10 goals, 7 of them at home. And I haven't even mentioned this yet. From those 6 matches, they didn't win a single one. 3 draws and 3 losses from 6 attempts. Gareth Southgate is lucky in a sense that Harry Maguire has become the scapegoat for all things bad for Manchester United and England. Yes, Maguire is indeed not good, but he is not the sole reason as to why England and United have struggled. Oh yeah, and Hungary's performances on the pitch were impressive. Shout out Italy, they recovered from the disappointment of failing to qualify. They finally shook up their squad a little bit with some of the personnel in the playing squad, and they got the win because of it, in my opinion. The Netherlands finished top of the group with 5 wins and a draw as they bested Belgium, who are apparently still the second best team in the world according to FIFA. I mean, FIFA rankings have been bullshit since they began, but the fact that Belgium are so consistently either the best team in the world or ranked number 2, I mean, this needs investigating, man. What's going on here between FIFA and Belgium? Anyway, what we've seen from the Netherlands is, of course, much more aligned with their history in the game, their national ideology when it comes to football, and the sheer amount of talent that they consistently produce. Yes, there were some dark years for them, but the Netherlands have a fantastic depth pool, and who would have thought that Louis van Gaal would be the man to get them firing again? Based on the entirety of his career, it's not a surprise that he got them going. But based on his most recent jobs leading up to the Netherlands job, it was a little bit surprising, wasn't it? Regardless, as of now, they are a great match, and Netherlands are looking like a true power at the next World Cup, which isn't really being spoken of enough. I mean, I'll speak for myself. I haven't factored them in as a contender nearly enough, despite watching them thrive right before my eyes. I don't know what it is, they keep slipping my mind. Belgium, on the other hand, they continue to not impress me really. They are a strange one because there is such a disparity between their top players, or player I should say. You know, De Bruyne, genuinely world class. Then there's the tier right below where Hazard is, on a technicality really. He's been so injured and out of form lately, but when he's on form and injury free, he's world class. Then there's the Lukaku tier. You know, he bangs in goals for Belgium, but has many limitations, and he's injured at the moment. It feels like this golden generation has passed by a bit, and there are still some great younger talents within the team. You know, I love me some De Catalara. I don't know, they were soundly defeated by Netherlands, but took care of business where they should against Wales and Poland. I guess it's just an adjustment of expectations a bit with them. Don't let the world rankings affect you too much. I'm speaking to myself here. They're still a very strong, talented team, but expectations can't be that they are amongst the elite, alongside, you know, Argentina, Brazil, Netherlands. Do we throw Netherlands in there too? I mean, the only team to go unbeaten in League A, that is impressive. Anyways, those were my thoughts for this video. Again, Croatia, Spain, Netherlands, and Italy, that is your final four. Please tell me what you thought of this Nations League edition. I'm Adrian, this is Rabona TV, and I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao!